Violence rocks this city in crisis as 2 people are shot dead. 10 others are injured just in the past 36 hours. One of the victims, a pregnant woman, shot this afternoon. Riel Creighton live tonight at police headquarters where the search is on for the shooters. Riel.
And Jeff, a neighbor tells us they believe the woman was targeted because her car had been vandalized earlier this morning. Police could not confirm that information, but what neighbors tell us they do know is that the mother-to-be was shot in an area in a neighborhood that they believe had just started to turn the corner on this type of violence. Daylight just after noon, police called to the 1500 block of N Ellamont Avenue in Southwest Baltimore. The bloodshed, this time a 34-year-old woman who was expecting.
Heading from the store getting a sandwich and then was shot multiple times. Pregnant.
Kenny Ebron has lived in the neighborhood for over 20 years and wasn't around when the shooting happened, but almost always knows about what happens around here.
The young lady car was spray painted earlier. During the morning, she discovered her car was spray painted. They was trying to get the paint off of it.
Police said the woman shot was hit 3 times, including a graze wound to the head and a bullet in the arm. There's a blood trail leading to a home, but neighbors told Fox 45 she doesn't live there. No suspects, no leads from police, who couldn't say how far along the woman was, but told us she is expected to live.
When did we get to this point?
But taking aim at a pregnant woman, Ebron says a new low, even around here.
It was a time when if a lady was pregnant and another lady was out to fight her, she'd wait until she had a baby, you know, and now it don't happen like this.
A very sad situation. Again, police, no suspects, no leads in this case. They couldn't tell us whether the shooter was on foot or in a car or provide an update on the condition of the woman and her baby.
From Towson to Baltimore and across the country, protesters rallied outside post offices today. They're calling for the resignation of the new Postmaster General and demanding on-time deliveries for the upcoming vote-by-mail elections. Shelley Orman takes us to Baltimore's rally.
This is the largest part of a democracy.
With signs in hand.
Save our post office!
Save our post office! And voices raised.
2, 4, 6, 8. Our democracy is at stake.
We have to lift up our voices and make sure they're heard. So our public officials do hear.
Protesters are sending a message straight to the top.
Don't mess with my mail.
Saturday's Save the Post Office rally in downtown Baltimore.
This is about our democracy. We have to protect our postal service.
An outcry against the new Postmaster General.
We deserve a Postmaster General who actually has experience in the post office. This current Postmaster General has no experience in the post office. The one that retired before him started out as a letter carrier. She was with the post office for 33 years. And that's what our postal workers deserve.
And a rally behind postal workers.
We all turn and give a shout out to the postal workers who are out there.
We want them to know that we thank them because that's an essential service.
Many are worried about voting by mail this election.
I want my ballot to come in the mail. We need to be able to vote without worrying about putting our lives in danger.
They're calling for assurances their vote will count this November.
It's a very frightening time that we have to wonder if our voice will be heard, if our vote will be counted.
Riel Creighton joins us live from the intersection of Kenwood and Monument Street in East Baltimore, where a crash yesterday injured 4 people, including 2 children. Riel.
And Kai, we found that there are dozens of crashes that happen at just this one intersection. You needn't stand here for just a minute to see what neighbors are so upset about here. You can watch as cars fly down this road, from the parked cars on the street to the buildings that are at every corner of this intersection. They have all been slammed into. Yesterday, it was 4 people on the sidewalk, including 2 children. East Baltimore, Kenwood, and Monument.
They come down Monument Street like it's 95.
They come through here driving like they're on the expressway, okay?
Like they're in a race.
You see how far past the stop sign he is right now?
Tyra Bean has lived here for 30 years. The last 3, just about the worst.
This is continuous.
A blind spot with a bus stop removed, and she says crashes ever since.
Cars have been damaged, kids have been hurt.
Just yesterday, a car plowed into pedestrians on this sidewalk. 4 hit, including a 5-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl. Neighbors say just the latest.
Mack truck
on every single corner of this intersection.
Pickup truck slammed into here.
Buildings bear the scars.
This was a sound structure 4 accidents ago. That building got hit so many times they've had to re-brick it. Somewhere upwards of 27 confirmed accidents.
At least, Fox 45 checked. In the last 2 years, there have been 73 911 calls for collisions here. One intersection, a list that appears to show over 30 crashes.
There's nobody listening.
Neighbors calling, pleading with city officials for a stop sign, stoplight, even a speed bump would do. It is in Councilwoman Shannon Sneed's district. Fox 45 also made repeated calls and emailed the councilwoman. We're still waiting to hear back. And after Thursday's violent crash,
now they got kids involved.
Now it's a neighborhood on the brink demanding something happen fast.
It's getting worse and worse. Somebody gonna get killed down there.
Well, the good news is that all 4 of those people who were hit yesterday, police tell us, are expected to survive. Meantime, Baltimore police did get back to us. They tell us they have responded to 4 crashes here just at this intersection in just the last 3 months.
If you've driven through the city lately, chances are that you've seen more than traffic signs on the roads. The city is opening the streets to artists, and their work is raising a lot of questions. Jeff Abel is live downtown tonight with the story. Jeff?
Well, you know, artists and painters converged on this street early this morning. They have spent the day transforming this block of Fayette Street into a Black Lives Matter mural. It's one of several pieces of public art now greeting drivers on public roadways. Outside City Hall, the street has become a canvas. The city spent this day diverting traffic so painters could turn this block of Fayette Street into a mural with a message.
We didn't just want to paint the words Black Lives Matter. We wanted to make this from a position of strength.
It's the latest installment of public art on a public roadway. Around the corner, the words Defund Police greet drivers on Gay Street. In Canton, there's Black Lives Matter. On Charles Street, there's Black Trans Lives Matter.
Would you support a Blue Lives Matter?
On talk radio today, callers questioned whether painted messages belong on public pavement.
Our streets need to be streets. When we start politicizing our street, I mean, just imagine 5 or 10 years from now, and everywhere you drive is just full of different messages.
Most of the artwork stretches from one end of the street to the other. In some places, the broken lines that divide the lanes are painted over. Retired state highway engineer Gene Simmers fears it could become a safety hazard.
What you're doing is you're basically covering up the central markings and you're taking the driver's attention away from valid markings.
For someone to say, hey, is using a public street the appropriate place to write Black Lives Matter? Well, it was a public street that a knee was placed on a black neck, right?
The city's transportation department grants permits for this artwork, and the city's Board of Estimates gives it a final stamp of approval. This latest mural is funded by a mental health counseling center, who call it a silent statement that deserves public attention.
I mean, this is pain in the street. There's been blood in the street.
Back here on Fayette Street, the latest mural will officially be unveiled in the morning, and the road will be reopened tomorrow night.